one bite of 100% Angus beef ballpark frank, and you'll say, hello, summer. Oh yeah, it's ballpark season.
At CDW, we get speed as the new currency of success.
Our team spends way too much time tending to outdated applications and software when they should be focused on driving application agility and innovation.
CDW Amplified Development Services modernizes software and application development to help accelerate innovation and digital transformation.
So you mean building new applications, UI, and mobile interfaces?
Well, you said you needed to innovate more quickly.
Oh, so he's a listener.
To do more at scale, trust CDW Amplified Development Services.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food? Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com. Good day, good people. Once again, you've got the grumpy old nerds in your ear. Man, I'm showing all my armpits there. Sorry about that, y'all. Once again, it is I, your Uncle John, your elder who knows way too damn much about TVs, movies, pop culture, and comic books. And alongside me again, as always, is the Five-Borough Ronin, Uncle Rod. What's good, sir?
What's up? What's going on, man? What's up?
And also, as always, behind the ones and twos, we have Uncle Roy. What's good, sir?
Hello.
All right, with the Michael Evans, with the JJ Evans greeting. I'm kind of sexy today with my shirt all open like that. Let me cover myself up so we keep our PG rating, PG-13. So,
get the disclaimer ready.
Yeah, that's right. I would be remiss today. Oh, if I did not also say that we're missing Uncle Percy, Auntie Nicole, and Uncle DJ. Well wishes to Uncle Percy. He's a little under the weather, sitting up in the hospital right now. Hopefully he's watching. Uncle Percy was good. We miss you, man.
Yes, sir.
Come back
Yes,
soon.
sir.
Get back on the show. But I also would be remiss if I did not mention something that I learned as not a grumpy old nerd, but a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed young nerd.
Okay.
When I was a wee lad, my parents told me to own up to my mistakes. And when I would do something ridiculous, they would
Here we
say,
go.
okay, Uncle Rod knows where I'm going with this.
Here we go.
My parents would say, look here, man, do what you made the mistake. Now own up to it. Don't lie about it. Don't try and skirt around the issue. You made a mistake. Suffer the consequences thereof. So,
Right.
yes, exactly. So, DC, why are you trying to hide? We know you're fucked up. We know you've been fucked up. We know you're probably going to fuck up some more. But you canceling Fandome is essentially you trying to run from your fan base. Look at Uncle Rod exhaling in frustration. Is DC trying to run from their fan base amongst all this nonsense? So we've come up with the fact that they're probably canceling Doom Patrol and Titans. I will say, watch, but Doom Patrol wasn't a half bad show. Doom Patrol was actually kind of interesting, even though they gave us the whole multiversal thing and it didn't coincide with other shows and whatever. Now
Doom
we're
Patrol
also
was a very
hearing,
good show.
yeah. Now we're also hearing that they're talking about either canceling the Flash, recasting the Flash, or just going ahead and throwing the Flash out there for all its warts and Ezra Miller's terroristic behavior. But why? You that will be the second film that you spent millions on. The film that was supposed to be your tentpole to propel you into this 10-year new age whatever that your new president had said, and you're ditching that. And just all around tomfoolery, DC Fandome would have been the perfect platform for you to lay out your specific plans, give people a shot of Black Adam, give people a shot of Aquaman 2, give people a shot of whatever else that you're doing, and try to explain where you're trying to go. But instead, in true cowardly fashion, you're going to run away and hide. So, what do you think about all that, Uncle Rod?
All right. Let's start here. You should not cancel an event like this. You have too much riding on your future productions, whatever they are. Whatever you decide to promote, you need to promote the hell out of it at Fandom and get people interested, because right now people are looking at DC as if they're joking they can't get right. And how much of that is fantasy and how much of that is reality, the lines are very, very blurred right now. Because it looks as if through the reshuffling, they're still trying to figure it out. They're looking really, really disorganized, and they're looking kind of goofy right now. And I hate to see that for a company of that magnitude. Like, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand how you can have the backing of a major motion picture company, a major entertainment entity, don't have any licensing issues with any of your characters, have the ability to hire some of the best writers who've worked on some of the most well-known DC events ever, and you still come out like this. I don't get it. And someone's gonna have to sit me down and explain to me why this is going on, because I'm gonna have to take my coach, and when I'm looking at film with the players, I'm like, hey, you're gonna have to explain this to me. Why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? Somebody's got to tell me something.
You know what? The one of the comments that we have is, what do they have to announce, as everything has been pushed back to the middle of 2023? And that's a very good point. Now, what's happening, and I think what Rod and I are saying, is that We're getting piecemeal information bit by bit, and none of it is good. This is your chance to, if nothing else, explain yourselves and give us you've got this new president who has this fantastic 10-year plan. Still don't know what it is. You're cutting most of your animation. You're cutting fucking Sesame Street. Sesame Street. How in the hell are you going to cut Sesame Street from HBO Max? That's a staple of
Sesame Street
everybody's
ain't done nothing to nobody.
Right. What did Big Bird do?
Why
to
are you running after them? Why are you going at them?
Man. Like, right. So, Elmo. Come on, man. Every kid loves Elmo. So, you've got a situation where you can bring your fans together, lay out exactly what's happening. Because right now, everything right now is pure speculation. Will Henry Cavill return as Superman? Who is the next Batman going to be? Are you going to keep Ben Affleck around? Or are you going to keep Robert Pattinson as your Batman? How do you plan on fixing? You've got The Rock, who is one of the biggest stars out there right now, in a Black Adam film that, from the trailers, looks halfway decent. You've got Jason Momoa in Aquaman 2, even though you're pushing that again until 2023. But you still have films. You've got Shazam: Fury of the Gods, which looks like your standard DC ridiculousness. But you have the opportunity to, if nothing else, explain yourself to the masses. Or you can have people like us, pundits over the interwebs, talk about your ugly asses. And you're still doing dumb shit. Like, it makes no sense.
I'm not calling them ugly. I'm really not trying to insult them. I'm just confused as to what is going on. Like, what is the plan? What are you trying to do? What do you want to accomplish? Like, with Marvel, I could see what the plan was. Although I have to say, recently, Marvel's been kind of nebulous too, and they've been kind of off the rails a little bit with what their plans are, what they're trying to show. But they are still 10 times more cohesive than DC than what they have.
I agree. Hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
There's
absolutely
in the house. Yeah, there's Nicole. There's absolutely no disclaimer in the disgruntled conversations about DC. They are a freaking dumpster fire. Or, excuse me, they are a fracking dumpster fire.
You can say fucking. They're fucked up. So Nicole, and welcome, Auntie Nicole. We can't see you, but your docile tones of your voice are always soothing.
Well, thank you.
Auntie Nicole, we're talking about DC canceling their fan event, DC Fandome. And Rod and I, and even Roy, are saying that this is your opportunity to explain yourself, to just kind of lay out there what you plan on doing, to admit to a certain extent that you are fucking up, and just kind of because the internet now is built for this. The internet is built for speculation and gossip and rumor, and DC can actually come out and say our plan is A, B, C, and D. So I mean, you agree with that, or how do you feel about that?
I do, because right now they're in such a hole in trying to get content out that people are going to enjoy, and it's like they'll come out with 5 bad ones, and then all of a sudden one good one, and then they go back to 5 bad ones, and everybody is, I mean, they're losing a fan base right now, because we're in an era where everybody wants a movie, everybody wants a TV show, everybody wants to have something tangible MCU is doing, so they can stay focused and stay, into the content. And DC's not offering anything. I mean, it's literally, what's the biggest thing we've heard lately? That Jason Momoa cut his hair. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. So what are they going to do for Aquaman? You know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously. And I mean, their Flash show, that's garbage now, because they can't count on Ezra Miller for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And they won't seem to cast the dude from the TV show. So I don't know. I don't understand what DC is doing. And the thing is I am a fan of DC. I like their content. Their content is more for the adult viewer. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I can get into. But you just can't come out with one Wonder Woman movie, you know what I'm saying, for it to be good. and then turn around and crap it out on the next one. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
was a good, Aquaman was, they got lucky with Aquaman because, Aquaman was the laughing stock
Dang.
of the DC, you know what I'm saying, thing, but
Well,
it's, they have nothing
well,
else.
and here's the thing. They're losing the CW shows. The only CW
No,
show that
yeah,
will be left after next year is Superman and Lois. So you're
yeah,
losing pretty much everything that you would
yeah,
plan to come out. Everything that we have seen in the past 3 or 4 years is disappearing. And then
yep,
next year you have Black Adam all the way to October 21st of 2020. No, I'm sorry. That's coming out to 2022 of this year, October 21st.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
in 2023, you've got Shazam, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So you've got like,
Outside of Black Adam, I can't say that I'm really looking forward to anything else.
yeah, exactly. And so another viewer, I have thoughts on The Rock playing Black Adam. So
One of the viewers, To, said they were planning on making the Flash like their Tony Stark, and that got blown
exactly,
out of the water. If they were, that got blown
exactly.
out of the water.
And you've got
Uh,
the most prominent thing you've got coming out in recently or close to in any type of time frame is Black Adam, which is your anti-hero, which
yeah.
is a different way to go than the Marvel way. Okay, fine. But look, if this turns out to be shitty, The Rock will bail because The Rock ain't for no nonsense. The Rock will be
Oh
like,
no, he
look,
ain't.
y'all gonna fuck around, I'm out. I'm too big of a star, right?
Correct.
So,
Mm-mm,
I
he'll
mean,
be like, you keep your raggedy ass Aquaman, I'm gone.
see what I'm saying?
And
See what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
he had been trying to make a Black Adam movie for years. He had been
Hmm.
talking about doing Black Adam for years.
and he's perfect for that role. Perfect, absolutely
Yep.
perfect. So, I don't know. DC's fucking up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
dumpster
really not much
fire.
more.
Dumpster fire.
Yes,
Yeah.
dumpster fire. I
Yeah.
don't think there's
And
anything
I
too
know
much
they're
more we
coming
can
out
say
with
about
another
that.
Wonder Woman, but I'm like, right now, Wonder Woman, I mean, they really messed up with that last one, man. And it's like that's all people remember now. They don't even the first one was great, but it's almost like they barely holding on to the first one because the second one was just awful.
Okay, hold on. Otis said that everybody they offered to be the head of DC has bailed.
Oh, really?
Hey, I'll do it. Pay me whatever's going to pay that guy. I'll do it.
Dude, I
I
will
I
take
Hell, pay me
less
half.
than half of what they're paying
I
Right.
him now.
stand behind you,
Exactly.
Rod. I stand behind you.
Give
Give
me
me a
the other
couple
half, and I
mil.
can hire who I want. To
Look,
So,
help me.
we as a community, the four of us could straighten DC out right now, with a snap of our finger.
Man.
I mean, just this. Go ahead, Roy.
I was gonna say, because the thing that's funny to me, and Nicole kind of mentioned it, is she said that they got lucky with Aquaman, and they didn't get lucky. Guess what they did? They were very, very close to the Throne of Atlantis script. The
Uh-huh.
only
Yeah.
thing that they didn't do in that
The
movie
animated
is
feature.
right. The only thing they didn't do in that movie is have Orm kill his mother. Which I don't want to start somebody off with a character like that, because damn it, there's no redeeming killing your mother. It's just, you can't, you might as well hang it up. There's no redeeming him in any type of shape, form, or fashion if he would have done that.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that DC is the DCEU is just as dumb as hell, and the fact that they were trying to make Ezra Miller there. You know what? Hold on. I'm sorry. I gotta do this. Hold on. Where's my thing at here? Because right now
Here it comes.
I got
Uh-oh.
Did you just say where's your thing? Please don't lose your thing, Roy.
You know what?
He's about to put his disclaimer out there. He's about to put it out there.
Let's see here. All right.
We don't Roy losing this thing.
All right. So no, because I'm gonna do my
There
John.
he is.
I'm gonna do my John. They had the perfect guy. If they wanted to make Flash the Tony Stark, they had the perfect guy in Grant Gustin, who has single-handedly made the Flash watchable. Well, not single-handedly, but this storyline has made the thing watchable, as opposed to a guy who, as John says, does what? Runs like
Absolutely.
Runs like he's in a rave.
that is
Absolutely.
the dumbest damn thing. that I have ever
Absolutely.
seen in my entire life. That is just ignorant.
That's the Flash on LSD. Running like that.
So
It's on that Lily.
so we saw a comment just flashed by that stated that The Rock's Super Pets, League of Super Pets, or whatever that animated feature was a flop. Yes, it was, but that's because we don't need a League of Super Pets fucking movie. Why would anybody
Right.
make that? What was the point? This feeds into what we're saying about DC's mindset.
So you canceled Batgirl and you greenlit that.
And you
Absolutely.
throw out The Rock and Kevin Hart in voice roles.
Who is
when
making
you
their
can't
business
see-
decisions, man?
Exactly. So, yeah, I get what you're saying about the League of Super Pets, but it was still a stupid decision to have two of the biggest movie stars in the planet in animated voice roles where nobody could see them doing what they do. So,
I'll be back.
yeah,
Hold on.
it was stupid. I think we're done going down that rabbit hole. Can we go on to something else now? Because DC, we kick DC in the nuts every show.
I mean, yeah, we don't really need to give them much more stuff because it gets to the point where it becomes really aggravating.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
really amusing at this point. It's like you sit there and say, what else can DC fuck up? What else can Warner Brothers fuck up? They have a system, and they're in Marvel news. Now, this was huge, and I don't know if this is true or not, but the internet is nothing but speculation. So why not listen to the rumors and comment on them? Marvel has apparently cast John Boyega, Henry Cavill, John Krasinski, Giancarlo Esposito, and Denzel Washington. And all of these people are supposed to be showing up at D23. Now, this is clearly a rumor, and it has been setting the interwebs on fire. But what makes this interesting is because John Boyega has said in interviews recently for his film, I forgot the name of this new movie he has out, but it's a spectacular film. He's been denying that he'll do any Marvel films because he says he wants to do smaller independent work. But if nothing else, Marvel has proven to us that people will lie for them. Because
Right.
Andrew Garfield vehemently said that I am not in the new Spider-Man film. I'm not anywhere near the Spider-Man film. I'm not being a part of it. I don't want to be a part of it, ... And lo and behold, Spider-Man No Way Home came out. Who was in it?
Bam.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
So
You're right, John.
I mean,
They have shown that people will lie for that Marvel check.
yes. I don't know what Marvel's doing, what you have to do to sell your soul to be in Marvel, but Marvel will have these stars lying. So, if that's the case, first of all, if they've got Henry Cavill joining the Marvel Universe, that's fucked up. Marvel is petty as hell.
Well, I mean,
you're gonna go and get Superman.
Well, and you know what they're talking about? They're talking about him being what, Captain Britain? Is the character
Captain
hold
Britain?
on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Did y'all say run those names off again, John?
Okay, I got you. Here we go.
D23.
John Boyega, Henry Cavill. That's right. Clark Kent. They got Clark Kent. John Krasinski, Giancarlo Esposito, and Denzel Washington.
So wait, let's speculate who they're going to play. Let's
Absolutely.
speculate who they're going to do this for, because we know Giancarlo's already been talking about the fact that he wants to be Xavier.
Yeah, he said that. Mm-hmm. I do remember that.
I don't know if I want them to change it, because honestly, and I got to give it to them. With the first two Xaviers, Fox at least did a good job at picking those people. So
okay.
Patrick Stewart and
She liked it,
McAvoy. Right. I think both of them are good Xaviers, and I don't necessarily need. I mean, Giancarlo's an amazing actor, so like I'm trying to think outside of Xavier, who could he play in that situation? Now,
An X-Men movie.
Well, but see, that's the thing. They could be teasing that because that's what everybody's expectation is, and that's what they've been talking about.
I got it.
Who?
Dr. Doom.
So you're still thinking they're gonna like get? So here's the thing: if you're gonna race bend somebody, doing it with Giancarlo Esposito is probably your best bet. That the white dudes ain't gonna have a hissy fit. Because they're just gonna be like, damn, it's this dude. You know, he's been in very prominent white shows, so that's the thing about it.
Yeah.
So that could be it.
From Breaking Bad, Gus Fring, he can be anybody. Yeah, they're not gonna be mad at Gus.
Right now, I'm thinking about.
Doom, though.
Yeah, I think Doom has to be younger.
I don't want to see him as Doom. I like somebody else for Doom. I think Giancarlo Esposito. I don't know if I really want him to play Professor X either. I think I'd probably put him someplace else in Marvel.
See, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. Where else could we put him? Because I don't see anything else. Because they've thrown that out there so much that like that's all you see in your head right now. Now, personally, I think Denzel, and I've said this a couple of times, would be ideal for Bashir. Blue Marvel, our boy Kevin's creation.
Yeah.
Denzel would be Denzel because you remember they've had things they've shown.
The Blue Marvel.
Yeah. They've shown him.
He would have to play an older role, like really.
No, Bashir is that old. Bashir's character, Bashir's character is in his 60s.
Okay.
Yeah,
but Denzel physically doesn't really fit that mold, though.
Dude, he plays Roger McCall. If he can pull off McCall with CGI and everything else they doing, which you know they're gonna use on him, he'd still have it.
So you're saying they're gonna put Denzel's face on a younger body?
Not necessarily a younger body. I mean, you know, listen. If Denzel is a, and I hate to say this because Denzel is
a little bit.
Denzel, I think Denzel would beef up for the Marvel thing too, just because it's him.
I don't know if you can at that age, man. The stuff that you talking about doing.
Really, you don't think, dude? Have y'all not seen some people? Some of these folks, he can get. I mean, he doesn't have to get super huge, but he can, as long as he gets a little bigger. And Bashir's, you know, they don't have to necessarily make him. You know, like I say, when they put him in the suit, they can CGI the suit up to make him look thick.
But that is a very physical role. I can't see them putting Denzel on the wires and having him fly through the air. Plus, if you think about it, Denzel is I don't see Denzel doing that personally. That's just me. I don't see Denzel doing it. Denzel is 67 years old.
Okay.
Denzel ain't trying to punch through the walls and fly through the air.
So who do you see? So who do you see him playing? If they do, where would you put him?
I have no idea. Denzel, for me, I don't see a character, and I haven't read the comics in a while. I don't see a character who Denzel fits. And I'm probably looking at it only from the hero side. There's probably more than one villain that he could play. But I don't see Denzel. I'm looking at like the older heroes. Who are the older heroes in the Marvel canon right now? Aside from Professor X.
Well, Kraskinski, I think, is supposed to be playing Reed Richards.
Well, hasn't he already been picked as him? Didn't he do him in the movie?
He was in Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's not surprising.
Well, okay. So since we're going, Giancarlo may be playing Professor X. Do we see Denzel as maybe Magneto?
That was the other thing I was going to say, because they have been saying that about him for a while too. That was one of those situations where they have been talking about, because of the whole thing with Martin's supposed to be X and Malcolm was supposed to be Xavier and all that kind of thing. So that was another thing that I kind of thought about that they would be doing. But then it would be a change. It would definitely be a full-blown change. Yeah, and I mean, you talk about resetting the universe with your two primary characters. I mean, coming from Fox, and your two primary characters being black. Now, the funny thing about it is especially if they're doing them at this age, they're doing the two older guys, so it's not, you don't have them as much in the storylines really when you think about it, because the story is gonna have to be about them bringing up the younger ones, and it's not we're not. I don't think with this new iteration we're not gonna get the start of the X-Men. I don't think we get the start of the X-Men. I think we get the X-Men after some years.
Okay.
So
So
I mean
Giancarlo,
that limits a lot of things that they can do with the films.
Why do you say that?
Because if you have the X-Men later on down the line, then you're pretty much just in origin. Which
You said
I'm
you're
not
pretty
totally
much doing
against.
what now?
You're introducing people with no origin. You're not giving them origin stories.
What about being
Spider-Man.
part of the living tribunal?
Well, if you're looking at Tom Holland, he didn't get a true origin story. They kind of just threw him out there.
Right, but his
Spider-Man
origin about
story
being
had been
my radioactive spider. Everyone knows that. I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
am too.
Is it me? I'll go away if it's me.
I mean, as much as I enjoy hearing my own voice, that's a bit much.
Oh well,
So what
it's
about
not me
some
then.
of those obscure characters they used to have back in the day, like the Living Tribunal and some of those old time people like Galactus and stuff?
Now, if they got him to play Galactus, I could see that. That would
Denzel?
actually be really.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel playing
Because you
Galactus?
know they're going into that whole territory now. Um, what is it? I'm trying to think. I'm drawing a blank. The whole territory with the new what they was doing with Loki and so on. And what was that? What's his name's character? The
Kang.
guy from Tom.
Kang? Conqueror?
Yeah, I just thought that maybe they could go into like characters that would have to do with that. You know, Living Tribunal, Galactus. Shoot, they could even redo some of the stuff in regards to like the Watchers and the Celestials and that kind of stuff, maybe.
Well, that's
I
a
mean,
possibility.
Dem-
They already have Kang, and they have a high evolutionary who's going to appear in a future Marvel film. I
so
think he's going to be in the new Ant-Man movie.
Am I still echoing?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Well, after I make this point, I'll go out and come back. Here's the speculation that I found interesting. John Boyega, and again, this is purely rumor and internet gossip, but they were saying John Boyega would be a good Blue Marvel. Now, that would make the character younger, but that would also a lot more leeway. You know what I'm saying? Just in terms of, because after a while, all these people are going to age out of these characters anyway.
Correct.
So you've got a situation where you've got John Boyega, who could be a staple, who could actually be one of the staples of the next phase of the Marvel Universe. I mean, we're still looking at, so we had our three pillars of the Marvel Universe, which were Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man. Who are the next pillars of the Marvel Universe?
To be determined.
And John would probably be a good look after what happened to him with the Star Wars stuff that everybody was expecting so much more from them on. So
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. I agree. I think so. Marvel, John Boyega as Blue Marvel, and he is one of the pillars of the next phase of the Marvel Universe. Now, just Spider-Man and Captain Marvel will round it all out, and now we're great. We're good, right?
Well, they were saying, like Roy was saying before, Henry Cavill, I think they maybe were looking at to play Captain Britain, which would make sense.
What about Hyperion,
That would make sense too.
which would be a direct kick in
Because
the nuts to DC.
he could act exactly the same as he did when he played Superman.
Wouldn't
Except
that be petty as hell?
Hyperion is a little bit more of a numbskull, but sure, why not?
But wouldn't that would be a direct kick in the nuts to DC and say, you know what, we got your Superman, now he's our Superman. Kiss our ass.
They borrowed from each other all the time back in the day.
I mean, why not? Why not?
Mhm.
Are we certain John Krasinski would be the next Reed Richards?
I thought it was interesting that they used him in that role. Yeah.
Okay.
He looks perfect.
Okay. I mean, to me, he's the perfect Reed Richards. Just mannerisms, age, everything. Give him the gray streaks, and he's Reed Richards. That's perfect for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will see DC. D23 is next week, so we'll see, because all these people are supposed to be making appearances, and they're all supposed to be. And that's when Disney comes up with their big announcements too. So I mean, we'll see. But
I forgot it was.
It is what it is. Yeah. Right.
Right.
As DC fandom basically runs in the corner and hides. D23 Disney is just like, here's everything we have to offer. Take it all.
Whether you like it or
DC
not.
That's right.
Yeah, they do. They lay it down and be like, okay, we moving on.
Right, exactly. So before we go any further down that rabbit hole, let's talk about She-Hulk episode 3. And
boy.
Here we go. Here we go. So you know what? I want to start with Rod. Rod, how did you feel about episode 3 of She-Hulk?
Honestly, I think that there was something that was bothering me about this show, and I think I figured out what it was.
Okay.
From the beginning, She-Hulk has been a better Hulk and she's been giving the Hulk the business, all kinds of disrespect for no freaking reason whatsoever. So now we have this show, which is a very good adaptation of, as I mentioned before, of the Byrne run or She-Hulk, John Byrne run, where she breaks the fourth wall, she interacts with the audience, and it's pretty much like a courtroom comedy, right?
Okay,
I get it, cool, I got it, no problem. But like as I mentioned before, how do you get the Hulk's blood in your system, become a Hulk, and immediately you can change when you want to. You can control how you change. Your intelligence doesn't change. You don't have to go through any intensive training or anything to be able to master the savage side of yourself when you change, because there isn't one.
Right.
You don't have to learn how to not tear shit up when you walk around as a Hulk. You don't have to worry about any of that.
I
have. When Bruce is trying to teach, is trying to say, "Hey, this is what it is. It's gonna be real crazy. Let me help you. Let me help you through it." And she's like, "Nah, I'm good. I got it," and just proceeds to disrespect him so much that they start fighting.
Okay.
And she, at no point on any level, should she be able to fight Banner or fight the Hulk and win.
Right.
Even if she is strong. She should have taken a couple of swings at him, and he'd have been like, "Okay, relax." And then when she didn't stop, okay, now I'm gonna show you what a Hulk does.
Push you down a little bit. Rough you up.
Well, but they can't do that. That part they can't do. On you would get a whole lot of the feminist nonsense. I understand the first part about it. Now I will say I do have a theory around why she doesn't have the why she didn't have the same issues that he had. One of them being the fact that she didn't take the super soldier serum, which all the super soldier serum does is amplifies everything in yours. So she has an indirect exposure to what created the powers in him. Because remember, we know Emil had the serum too, and he, as the Abomination, I mean, he just went a little crazier than what he already was, because he was just a soldier lunatic. He was, following orders, so he just didn't do it as the Abomination. But like you said, the whole part about them fighting each other, that's a different story. I think that's something they should have leveled up and been like, okay, yeah, she's a Hulk. She's probably going to be stronger than most people. But Bruce, there's no way that she could even stand up against, to your point, Rod, there's no way she could even stand up against World War Hulk. Because that's his pure rage. That's just more of his rage. But we're talking Professor Hulk here. And what is Professor Hulk going to do first off? Well, he's not going to want to kick his girl cousin to sleep. We know this. So he's always
kick her to sleep either. But
but even fight her, because I think that's what they were showing. Either. But see, I think that's what they were actually. I think that was part of what they were doing. And honestly, I think they're doing that to set up where they're going with World War Hulk with him, because that was, if you saw him with her, what are you seeing? You are seeing the most gentle Hulk that you've ever seen, that you could ever think about. You're seeing Professor Hulk because he's being thoughtful and considerate of what could actually happen. He does not want to hurt his cousin in any way, because he's already like, well, damn, now she done got my blood, so she's got to live with this for the rest of her life anyway. And yeah, he was probably a little pissed that she could handle all of the stuff and turn when she wants to and do the stuff. He wasn't, because that's the other thing. She wasn't fighting two natures of herself. And the question for me is that part of the gamma, because of his gamma radiation treatment, as well as the other, like I said, just the whole way he got the serum, or what? Because that's something that she was like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like you said, she was like, I'm good with this whole thing, and she can, on command. Again, it's for her. It's part of who she is. She's not fighting another. It's almost like he has a dual consciousness with Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Is the way that the story is. If you think about it, it's two people sharing one body.
I think and Rod actually brings up a very good point. I think my issue with how they've handled the Hulk, to kind of step away from She-Hulk as a character, I don't think that they're really handling the Hulk properly, in that they went almost automatically. Now, we've had two Hulk films where he was the Savage Hulk. He was the Incredible Hulk. So we went straight from the Incredible Hulk to Professor Hulk in a case where he's been accepted by society. I think what made Hulk the character that he always was the fact that he was more of an outcast than any of the other heroes in Marvel canon. And the fact that his rage overcame him. And him coming into control of the character is relatively new in the comics. It's in the past 30 years or so. To correct me if I'm wrong, Rod. It's not something.
I think the first time he became in control was around mid to late 80s, I think.
Okay, so maybe 40 years.
Maybe early 90s. Yeah.
But, and also, is he in the comics now? Because I know the comics try to mirror the films. Is he Professor Hulk in the comics now?
No.
Okay.
No, it's a whole other stuff going on with the Hulk right now. But that's neither here nor there. Keep going.
So let me add. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I just was going to say, I think with this show is that the show is not taking itself seriously. And one of the biggest things I think is doing it, or it may end up doing, is simply introducing, through this means, other characters that we're going to start seeing down the line in the MCU. So I think the She-Hulk is just simply a fun little anecdote in the whole history of this whole MCU thing that they've done. You know what I'm saying? In comparison to what the books and everything has on it. And I thought it was kind of crazy though, that she was able to beat up the Hulk and everything like that, but I also looked at it as he let her do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to kick his cousin's ass. You know what I'm saying? He's going to let her understand the fact that she's got power. This is what you're capable of doing. You think you kicked my ass, but you didn't. But, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and the fact that she's able to kind of change on the whim and stuff, I kind of agree, like, on the line of, like, where Roy was saying, because I feel like she didn't have to go through the whole direct line of gamma rays and all that other kind of stuff. It was already diluted, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Coming from the Hulk. He's already, like, I don't know nothing about no physics or anything, but, I'm just thinking, like, that's already been mixed and stirred and everything like that into what it's going to be. And then when it goes, some of his blood goes into her, it's definitely not the potency that he would have got it under. You know what I'm saying? But that was just huh?
That's actually a good point. I was going to say that, when you look at her being able to master being a Hulk, I mean, just look at Avengers Endgame where Captain America picked up Thor's hammer, and now suddenly he's doing more shit than Thor was with the hammer.
Right.
It's like,
right.
They, for storytellers, they're going to bypass all the difficult shit just to get you to where they need to be. So I get that. As a series, She-Hulk, the first 2 episodes I really enjoyed. This third one kind of bogged down for me a little bit. Seeing the Wrecking Crew was kind of weak. I mean, I get that they're supposed to be the humor. They're actually the muscle for somebody else. They're the muscle for somebody else who's trying to get her blood or something. But it's just, I like the fact that the Wrecking Crew was portrayed as goofy as they were. And Thunderball, who was a black member of the Wrecking Crew, was portrayed by someone who is not black. And Rod, you probably know this, but I didn't know this. In Black Panther, Thunderball actually becomes a member of the Wakandan.
Yeah, becomes a citizen of Wakanda.
Yeah.
Which I think of Wakanda, he's reformed. Once he gets out of jail, he's reformed, and he goes because he's a doctor. He's like a high tech doctor, and he lives in Wakanda, and he works with the Wakandans after he does his time, so to speak.
Right. So we can't get that storyline now. Marvel with the damn race swapping shit.
Unless that was a bootleg version of the Wrecking Crew, and they're going to be upgraded into a different group later.
I was going to say maybe something down the line is going to make a change.
Well, that would be good, but I think that She-Hulk is suffering from. There are supposed to be 9 episodes of She-Hulk. I said before that I think the half-hour format fits this series to a T, because just when it starts getting good, the show is over as opposed to extending its welcome. But I think 9 episodes is a lot, unless the episode that drops tomorrow needs to be moving the story forward, because I think we've got the gist. It's comedy. It's supposed to be funny. She's breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Okay, now start working towards whatever it is you're working towards.
Correct.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean,
like I said, it's I think it's just supposed to be a fun little anecdote. It's not going to be. I don't think this was supposed to be anything that was going to be serious. I you know what I'm saying? Like her character and stuff. It's like just something to give people a taste of different characters. I think it is. And since She-Hulk did, she had quite a few copies being sold, of the comic and so on like that. So, you got people throwing names out there. Who else should we bring in the MCU? Who else should we bring on screen and put on screen and stuff like that? And this kind of like helps satisfy that sweet tooth, when you want something and okay, cool, great, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to move on and go to the very next thing. Like I said, I don't think they're
Well,
taking this series seriously at all.
but you know what, Nicole? I think you have to, because She-Hulk is supposed to be a pivot point with so many other characters, because
Right.
we've already had the Hulk. We've had some major development with the Hulk that's happened so far. You've got Daredevil, who is making a turn to you after that series in Netflix was canceled. So this is pretty heavy stuff that they're actually some pretty heavy characters that they're having come through her hemisphere. So she's gotta it's gotta be something more than just the like she stated. And it's funny that the writers even recognize this. At the beginning of the episode last week, she was like, okay, I don't want you to think this is just a cameo of the week, even though we've had Wong and we've had Bruce and we've had it was somebody else. She was like, oh yeah, it does seem like this is just a cameo of the week TV show.
Emil.
Yeah. And Abomination. Right. So I mean, I don't want this just to be the show that brings Daredevil back, or I don't want to be the show that progresses Hulk's storyline until Marvel gets the true rights to the character and they can make a true Hulk movie. You know what I'm saying? This has to be this is a pivotal series within the canon. So, I mean, it is what it is. We'll see tomorrow whether this show actually starts, because we're like a quarter of the way through. We'll see tomorrow if this show is actually gonna.
So let me ask you fellas a question, okay? Because like this last episode, a lot of people was on this last episode because of the whole, as they said it in the show, Megan the Stallion. You know what I'm saying? They just kept emphasizing her name like crazy and stuff. But they were sitting there. I kept hearing all these arguments about, oh, this is Disney's woke version and woke this, you know, all of this and everything. Personally, I thought it was fun. First of all, they did not make that whole thing Megan the Stallion as part of the concise or the major storyline. You know what I'm saying? And like at the very ending is more or less, you know, you got the name drop and everything like that, but it was to sit there and introduce that elf chick, whatever, from where Thor's from. You know what I'm saying? Her being there and stuff. But you know, and then of course they had the cutscene, and then they went to the whole, you know, twerking stuff and everything. Personally, I just looked at it as that was just a fun moment in MCU. Everybody has done, a lot of characters have done things where that you could question, like, why did they do that? You know, like, think about it. Deadpool, in some respects, you can't tell whether he's straight or gay. You know what I'm saying? And then you
is gender
other
fluid.
people.
Yeah, he is gender fluid.
There you go. Okay. But I'm saying characters all have these different nuances that they'll throw in sort of today's pop culture or something like that are kind of like just kind of bring you into the now of the show or whatever it is that's going on. And I think people was taking it too serious. And I'm like, it wasn't meant to be so much, to me anyway, part of the show unless they make Megan the Stallion an actual character in the MCU. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. I think people kind of pushed it way out there. And I said, I think it was just something to be fun. And what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think that people are forgetting that the Megan Thee Stallion storyline was the B plot of the series, of that episode.
Right. It wasn't the show. It wasn't right.
It was something goofy. They were like, you know what? We've got this whole Abomination thing going. We have to have another storyline going simultaneously, and just put it out there. But you're right. I think the fanboys got a little their draws in a bunch, because it was a whole lot of asses wiggling. She wiggled her ass at the end. I'm just like, okay.
Oh my goodness! Wait, no. Okay, so I gotta. Y'all keep talking about this for a minute. I gotta pull something that somebody said about that whole particular point. No, because this is the huge funny thing about it. So go ahead and keep talking. But I just had to say that so that y'all wouldn't go off of it.
No,
to me, it's right.
But
right
I mean,
up there.
seriously, it just was supposed to be a fun moment in the MCU, something funny. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, are they going to make Megan Thee Stallion character in the MCU, I doubt it highly. You know what I'm saying?
That was
This
just for this
isn't,
episode. Yeah.
that's people were literally taking this into, the stratosphere with all this thing about woke Disney and all this other kind of stuff. I'm like, just about every MCU story we've watched has some sort of today's pop culture and nuances in it. You know what I'm saying? Right down to showing, where they kind of push the narrative for certain subjects onto you into the MCU. So I mean, I think I didn't find anything wrong with them doing that. It wasn't, the whole twerking thing wasn't even part of the main show. So
Yeah, to me, it was more like that dance number in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire.
yep. See, there
In
you
the
go.
club. That's pretty much what it was to me. It was like, was it necessary? Hell no, it wasn't necessary. Was it
Nope.
cool? Not really. But it's just more.
Yep.
It's just more of a. It's more of a diversion thing. This
About
is
it.
a
You're
quick change of
bringing
pace.
in a cat, bringing in somebody that most fans will recognize. You know what I'm saying? It's like like certain shows and TV shows and everything. People look to see sometimes who you're going to have on it and everything because that's sometimes part of the fun. You know what I'm saying and stuff.
True.
Like again, her where she brought up the whole comment about the whole thing about different cameos. So think about it. How many times people are now going to tune into She-Hulk to see who's they going to have on next week?
Yeah, of course.
I
They're
think
looking to
that is
see. Now,
a great way to grab fans' attention.
now it's not.
Well,
Now it's not just Marvel characters. It's just like people from pop culture. Will they show up on the show?
Right.
well,
Or other. Mhm.
at least with She-Hulk, we not sitting there waiting in anticipation of the cameo. We know it's coming. Unlike another Marvel show where they were always had us waiting for some shit
So,
to happen.
so no. So hold on. So this is the thing. This isn't the actual image, but it's part of the image that I wanted to show with this that literally had me dying because and I'm gonna put it up over the full screen because you can't really see it here. But
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't see it. I know that's a John Byrne drawing.
what it said on the thing was fanboy pissed off. Marvel would never have She-Hulk twerking in a comic book. Then it says, you know how they do the thing, and then it says Marvel having She-Hulk jump rope butt naked in the comics.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I remember that now. Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely.
I actually have that book. Yeah, that's very
Right.
true. Yeah, I mean it's stupid because the gatekeepers, and sometimes we are gatekeepers too, but only when we have to be. But sometimes the gatekeepers are hilarious in what they want you to think is against the rules or outside of bounds or whatever the integrity of the character. The fact of the matter is, again, you're missing the point. That episode was about the fact that Emo Blonsky is now free, and Wong admitted to breaking him out. So now a plot point from Shang-Chi has been answered, and now we can move forward from that. So I mean, it's like, stop it already.
And Wong,
Absolutely.
and they said, and you do realize that you just admitted to a crime. Yeah, I'm out, y'all. Deuces.
He said exactly. He was like, yes, I must go.
Well, I said, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know. Well, fellas, I need to get back to work and so on, and I will. Sorry, I was only the voice of whatever here, and so on, but definitely be showing my face next week.
Oh, we're showing your face. Hydro Betty made her appearance.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, Hydro Betty, y'all. Anyway, anyway, guys, I go back to work. All right, bye, fellas.
So now that we beat that episode of She-Hulk like a dead horse, Uncle Rod, you were at Dragon Con this past weekend. How was that experience?
I was. All right. Well, first off, let me explain to some people who may be listening and may not know what Dragon Con actually is. Dragon Con is a 4-day, really 5-day major event that happens in downtown Atlanta. And it's so huge that it takes 4 hotels and a whole building of shopping to hold it, and it still doesn't hold it. It's all 4 major hotels downtown. America's Mart, which is where they do all the vending. It's 4 floors of vending, and it's
Wow, I didn't
outrageous.
realize that.
It's comics, anime, cosplay, science fiction, fantasy, horror, doomsday preppers, tabletop gaming, video game, anything you could think of. All of that stuff is there at Dragon Con. There's an unofficial start to the con, which is Thursday night, and it's always Labor Day weekend. That Thursday before the weekend is the unofficial start, where they'll have events going on, like they'll have like certain parties at clubs, what have you. There'll always be something going on. Friday is the actual start of the con, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday is nonstop panels. Like I said before, discussions, exhibits, all anything you can think of involving any kind of nerd culture. There's meetups for photo shoots. It's all kinds of stuff, and even through to Monday. Monday is what they call the alcohol disposal party, because at the end of the weekend, all the alcohol that's left, they got to get rid of it somehow. So that's the party. That's the end of the party. So
nice.
Like I said before, Dragon Con is huge, and I highly suggest everybody needs to attend at least one time. And when you think about it, tickets are really not that bad for the whole weekend. The earlier you get them, the better the cost is. So look into it right now, and you can probably get a whole weekend for less than $100.
Really?
And that's a bargain considering everything you get.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you, there are people coming from all parts of the country or even the world to come to this. But as I was going into the con, I got a call from our friend, the Con Chaos coordinator, Renee Cooper, and she was saying that there was a panel that needed a moderator, and it was originally supposed to be an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel, but the agents dropped out, and they left.
Oh, damn!
They left Jason. They left Jason O'Mara by himself out there.
Oh,
and
shit!
Why does that name sound familiar?
I'm going to explain it to you.
Okay.
because Jason O'Mara was Jeffrey Mace, who was the interim director of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And he is also the voice of Batman in the DC animated series. He was the voice of Batman for like 10 films, I think. Starting with Justice League War. All the way through to Apocalypse War, Darkseid War. He was the voice of Batman.
Wow.
For Batman and Robin, Batman and Son, Justice League versus Teen Titans, all those films.
Nice.
Yep. And it's wild because when you listen to him as Batman, you have no idea that he is from Ireland. He's an Irish actor.
So when you told us,
of course, when you hear the accent when you interview him.
When you told us that you when you showed us the picture of the two of you, and you told us who he was, I was like, let me look him up just to see. And I was like, he's Irish. What?
Yeah. Right. So he talked about that, and so I ended up having to fill in for that panel on like a day's notice, which was cool because I already knew a lot about him. So I just had to do a little extra research, which was cool. So then I had one of my friends who was at the con wake up really early, even though he was at a rave that started at 3 that morning.
Lord, that hurt. Wow.
I got him to get up and come in and record it. So he's going to give me the recording of the interview. and I'm gonna take a look at it and look at the mistakes I made and cringe, but it's gonna be all right. So, Jason O'Mara is a really cool dude, man. He's really, really cool and very funny. So,
So you got,
we
so
got.
you moderated a, was this just an interview or you moderated a panel or what was it?
It ended up being pretty much just me and Jason on the stage, just going over his career.
Rod, that's huge, man.
and taking questions from the crowd.
Rod, that's huge.
Yeah, that's kind of dope, bro.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wow, this is really cool. Some last minute
He
stuff.
said, yes, I know. That's just how I roll. I do, like Kanye, I do dope shit. So yes, I know how you said.
I stumbled into this one. Well, again, I gotta give props to Renee because the people who were running the panel asked her, "Do you know somebody?" And she was like, "Yeah, I happen to know somebody who's like really deep into comics. I'm gonna help you out."
Nice.
So one of the first things I said to him was like, when I heard the name Jeffrey Mace, I thought, are they gonna make him the Patriot? Because that's the name of the Patriot from the Liberty Legion, the old World War II supergroup in Marvel. Now that's real deep cuts.
Yes, it is. Because I didn't know that.
Right. And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I figured some people would catch that, so he knew about it.
Wow. So you're saying that this was, so who else was supposed to be on the panel? Do you know?
They gave me the names. They said like 2 other people were supposed to be from the show were supposed to be on it. I don't remember who they were though right now. I'm sorry.
So this was just supposed to be an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Retrospective, and it turned into Jason Mara, This Is Your Life.
Yep, Jason O'Mara and some dude from Grumpy Old Nerds, which by the way, actually, fantastic. I wore the Grumpy Old Nerds T-shirt, and everybody loved it.
Nice.
And so I got a chance to promote the show. And at the end of the panel, Jason said, "Hey, drop me the link. I want to check the show out." So I'm going to drop him a link, and he'll be able to check next week's show out.
Absolutely, please, Jason O'Mara, and we'd love to have you on the show, sir. And we'll only have you, and we'll promote it as only you, and it will be the Jason O'Mara show for as long as you want to be on, Doctor. We got you, and we got your good friend Rod over here. So Dragon Con, so would you say Dragon Con is like the second biggest con after San Diego?
I don't know, because I've never been to WonderCon, which is in Anaheim. And when I went to New York City Comic Con, it wasn't really officially called that, because it was before it was called that. I went to the New York City Comic Con when I was like 12 years old. That was my first con, actually.
Okay.
And that was at the Jacob Javits Center in New York. And this is before it blew up. So I don't know how big that is now. But I know that Dragon Con, if it's not one of the biggest, one of the biggest. It's definitely top 5. I'll put it that way.
So just for history purposes, why is it called Dragon Con?
I have no idea.
Okay. Okay, because the one I know the one in Chicago is pretty big now too. C2E2. So right. I know that was pretty big. So yeah, but Dragon Con's got to be up there, man.
And there's one in Texas. I can't remember the name of it though.
Okay,
that's pretty big. So the ones definitely are San Diego Comic Con, New York Comic Con, C2E2, Dragon Con. I know MegaCon Orlando's pretty big, but even that's not on the same level as Dragon Con. Yeah, but that's not on the same level as Dragon Con. When I tell you it takes over all of downtown Atlanta,
yeah,
all of downtown Atlanta.
When we first moved down here 7 years ago, and we happened to be downtown, and I didn't know about Dragon Con, and when I tell you, people were everywhere dressed as some of everything, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? And someone explained to me it was Dragon Con. I was like, oh, okay, I found my new home. So, yeah.
Right.
When you say it takes over downtown, that's not an exaggeration. It takes over everything.
No.
They have a parade.
Yeah, they have a parade. They block off the street. They have a parade Saturday morning for everybody in cosplay. They block off the streets of downtown Saturday morning, 10 o'clock.
So did you go all 4 days, Rod?
I did not. I couldn't do it.
So what days were you here?
I was there for Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, cool. And so did Renee have any particular job, or what was Renee doing? Because I know Amayu was working.
She was working the con. And Amayu was working the con as well.
Okay.
Yeah. She was
So
working,
I may
registration.
next year I may infiltrate.
Listen, man. Next year we got to do media. We got to do media for Dragon.
Absolutely. I know Roy has been talking about that for a while. Plus, Urban NerdCon is going to blow up exponentially next year too. So we're going to be busy next summer.
Well, if that's the case, then get your tickets early.
That's right.
Who the hell?
So
you know what?
Roy, we need to start.
Depending on what happens with these people in Montgomery, we may need to do Urban NerdCon the same damn weekend. It'll be a bunch of us here. Why fight the wave? Get on the wave and ride, baby. Get on the wave and ride.
The same weekend as what?
What did you just talk about?
The same weekend as Dragon Con?
Yeah.
No. Man, you don't lost your damn mind.
See, I was trying to be nice and just say no, but Rod was like, hey, man, you crazy now. Yeah.
Why not?
We're not doing it.
Think about it. I want y'all to think about it. Actually, think about it.
I have thought about it.
Think about it.
That's what I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. And we charge, you charge $30-$40 for the whole weekend. People who, because listen, tell me that people coming to Dragon Con are already not expecting to spend a couple of $1,000s. Your normal person.
The normal person is probably going to spend about anywhere from $300 to maybe $800-$900.
Exactly. If you're
Depending if they come with kids and what they're looking for.
And if you legitimately give black nerds, like I said, this is one of those situations where maybe we don't fight the wave. Maybe we try to ride it.
Like people spending $1,300, $1,400 total for the hotel for 4 days.
Exactly.
Right.
So they're already here.
Sold out years in advance.
So they're already here. And like you said, there are other. So this is the thing you got to remember. It's in 4 major hotels downtown, but there are actually, based on where you're saying this at Ameris Mart, there are probably 12 other hotels literally within a 4 to 5 block walking distance of that are going to be much damn cheaper.
Do you know what they're full of? People going to Dragon Con, they couldn't get into 4 major hotels.
Okay, but that's my point again. Riding the wave instead of trying to force against it. And if we're doing, because think about different events that may be going on. And this literally just hit me as you were sitting here talking about this. That it really did. And even if we don't necessarily do the con, do something Dragon Con weekend. Do something Urban Nerd Con and be like, yo, check us out. We're here. We're going to be, this is the thing. You can get with us and we're going to do this, and that. Do a couple of panels. Maybe do a couple of panels at least or something to get people engaged in the conversation. And then let Dragon Con be like, hey, we've really been trying to get this diversity track going and you guys are already the greatest. So, hey, there it is. Bam.
They have a diversity track already. So
yeah, I know. I've heard about it. I've talked to multiple people who've been in charge of the diversity track, and I ain't impressed with nothing nobody's saying. Even some of the folks who we were dealing with at our event were saying the same thing, that they were not impressed with what they were doing in their diversity track, because it's people who are really just trying to be close to mainstream and not really promote and push the diversity. Comic Palooza in Houston is what you were talking about, actually. Yeah, because Syra was actually a part of that. Timeout's manager.
Cool. Yeah. Nice. That's what's up.
Telling you, that's an idea.
Yeah. Okay. It's not. So, Roy, I understand that you're a visionary, and most times visionaries are looked at with a side eye, and I get that. But I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So if anybody out there is still watching, and I know that, one or two of you are, what in the comments, would Urban NerdCon benefit from being the same weekend in the same city at the same time as Dragon Con?
Well, since you put it that way.
No, I'm telling you, it's one of those things that if you do it, I think if you do it right, like I said, at worst case scenario, do something that weekend. Because downtown, people will walk all of downtown Atlanta. Especially if they're there for an event.
I agree that maybe us doing something would be beneficial. I don't doubt that at all. But having the Urban NerdCon at the Dragon Con, no. But something in the vicinity to draw attention to us, because there will be people here from all over. Yes, I saw on TikTok, I saw that all of the black cosplayers took a picture together, and I was just like, that is so fucking dope.
That was the what you call it, Black Nerddom photo shoot. That's what they call it.
That was dope. That was dope as hell, and I was like, that's fantastic. So yes, I get that we need to have something that's not just fan service, that's not just superficial, something that's really investigating diversity within that realm. Got it. But the Urban NerdCon during the Dragon Con, and maybe it's just me. So yeah, if anybody out there comment, please tell us, is that a good idea? Do you think that's a good idea? Let us know. Because we do this for you. We do this for you. But having said that,
I'm not gonna put them on air right now, but I do have some ideas.
Well,
Percy's tuned in.
Grumpy old nerds live at Dragon Con. Percy.
I mean, it would be dope. It would be dope for us to do a show from Dragon Con. I think that would be cool.
Right, James. So like I said, you have to do some creative scheduling. I'm telling you, that may be an idea.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Something is happening every hour of every day, 24 hours at Dragon Con.
And do you think that every hour of every day they have something for the urban nerds there or for the black nerddom? No.
They have something for black people? No.
Exactly. That's my point. It's not gonna. That's my point. It's not gonna be. We're not being programmed every hour of every day. We're a part of that programming, is my point. And just like James said, with the strategics, with the right thing, and maybe inviting a few people in town for that weekend, be like, yo, getting them in, tied in with what we're doing. Like I said, doing some general panels. Because look, anybody that comes, because I don't know what Dragon Con gives people or whatever, they're going to make their money. Anybody that comes and we get some legit. Hell, if we had the people that we had at our event, all of them walk away with money from people coming to see them. Think about it.
It's a possibility. You just have to talk to. I don't know how they organize that, so we'd have to do some research on that.
You know the fucked up thing about all of this is that I'm starting to fully understand what Roy is saying, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's not a bad idea, but I know it's not a good idea.
No, you don't. You what it is, I'm telling you, you're looking at it because you're looking at it from the overall totality.
Slowly getting talked into it.
Talked into it. What he's doing, Rod, no, seriously. What he's doing is he's looking at the totality of Dragon Con and what it has become. And what we've always said and what anybody, I guarantee you, Amayu will say it. I guarantee you, Renee will tell you that even with the diverted, like, dude, John, just since we've been doing this show, I know of 5 different damn people who've apparently been ahead of this diversity track, and the shit still isn't working because they keep changing people.
Oh no, I get that. No, I understand exactly. But what you're talking
Percy.
about? What did Percy say? Oh God! But you know what? Here's the thing.
And Dragon Con, that might
now
work.
You got me sitting up in my chair and shit. But here's the thing. Here's the problem: is that we could do that whole Hero-gasm after dark shit because there would be people there, and there would be when we did our live show, like people started gravitating towards us when we did the live show, and if there was a venue that we could do the live show and people would see that it's black nerds hosting a black nerd podcast. Okay, you know what? We're going to end this now before he talks me into this shit because I'm not. No.
Keep letting it seep into your mind.
but I would be down. See, now he put his own picture up. Now he wants to do that shit. Now he's Svengali and shit. I would be more inclined to do a show, not necessarily have a con, but I think us doing a show during Dragon Con would be cool. What do you think, Rod?
I will not fear. Fear is a mind killer.
So, John, let me ask you this: are you saying will we have to do the show in Dragon Con or just somewhere proximity to it? We could do it somewhere proximity, right? We wouldn't have to be officially in Dragon Con, is what you're saying.
We can do it. We can actually do a panel at Dragon Con if we want to. We can do a Grumpy Old Nerds panel. We can probably do a show from Dragon Con. We just have to apply for it.
Because I don't know anything about Dragon Con. This has suddenly become an Urban Nerd Con meeting. Sorry, audience. You're now participating in our meeting. But I would be down to do a show. And if it's as easy as Rod says it's going to be, I think that would be huge for us.
Well, the issue would be since Rod is there and he's with the Con Chaos Coordinator in contact, she would know better than anybody else. Go ahead and put the application in now. Do we do Grumpy Old Nerds or do we ask them to say, hey, we've got the Urban Nerd Con that would like to do a series of events here? And, we can do multiple Grumpy Old Nerd things each day, do shows.
Here we go. We were fine with the Grumpy Old Nerd podcast. Now you done gone somewhere else.
Remember, I started off as the whole damn con, so that was y'all. That got flipped over there. That wasn't me.
I think we've got it dialed down to something a little bit more manageable in a Grumpy Old Nerds live show. But again, I'm looking at Rod.
Easy. You saying that like that's doing something different than what you normally do.
It is.
No, it's not.
We're broadcasting a bigger audience, man.
Dude, the only thing different than what you're doing is you're going somewhere where there are more people out there. Well, John, you know what? We've been in quarantine too long. John's forgetting the live shows that we've done in restaurants and other places already. We have had spaces where we've had a decent number of people, and we were getting some more, but
right now,
quarantine hit.
The best place to have it would be in America's Mart. They have meeting rooms in America's Mart.
I guess it's been so long since I've even thought about being engaged because I'm usually gone during that weekend because I didn't even know they were in America's Mart. I used to work in America's Mart. I thought they were still in the convention center. And that's crazy if they're in America's Mart because I know what that place is like. And it's like when Rob was like 4 levels, I was like, damn.
No, listen. Only the vendors and the artists are in America's Mart.
Right, that's what I mean. Even when I heard you said that, I mean, dude, like I said, I've worked in America's Mart. I know what that place is like. That place is huge.
Yeah.
And you're talking about taking over 4 levels. I was like, dang.
Yeah, that's only vendors in Artist Alley. Artist Alley is one whole floor.
Wow.
Okay, well, we're closely
Marcus
coming up on.
Marcus was there. I went and hollered at him. Marcus Williams was there.
we are coming up on the end of the show. Once again, we appreciate everyone joining us for our Urban NerdCon meeting this evening. Rod, anything you want to say before we exit?
We need to get those shirts ready, my man.
Gotcha. I'm on it. Roy, what's coming up on the network?
I finally got a large response to my request for looking for women who want to do sports broadcasting. So that's we got a whole bunch of stuff coming up, man, with women's sports, volleyball, and then women's basketball season will be here in another month, and we're a month and a half, and we're looking for women to get engaged because we actually have a promotion that we're trying to start, and I want women represented in this thing, especially black women. So we're working on that now and getting ready to get some other stuff going. So yeah.
All right. So everyone out there, Roy needs women. For Uncle DJ,
you beat me to it.
for Uncle DJ, for Anthony Cole, for Uncle Roy and Uncle Rod. And please get well soon, Uncle Percy. We are the Grumpy Old Nerds. We will catch you next week.